Howdy folks, welcome to Indie Focus, the showcase of indie games you had no idea existed. Today we have ourselves Airscape: The Fall of Gravity. It's an action platform with a twist, basically. Judging by this menu screen, you can tell it's going to be a game. The sound is amazing, it looks amazing. Let's jump straight into this. So to get thrown straight into the game, the opening tutorial slash cutscene basically includes this level here. The control scheme is very easy to learn underwater. A is up, B is down, control sticks left, right, up, any way you want to go. So the story is, you're an octopus. Simple. Swimming around with your octopi friends, everything seems okay, everything's calm, you're loving your life as an octopus. You've just sat your exams and graduated from Octopus University. Time's looking good. Until we catch our first glimpse of what would possibly be the antagonist in this game. It seems to be some sort of robot-y slash, I dare say, alien-y sort of. Yeah, that's it's definitely some sort of extraterrestrial being right there. This level here is really good to learn how the game actually plays. Underwater levels, the physics do differ to that of on land levels. Just be ready for it. It's not exactly going left equals left, right equals right. You will sway back and forth. Get used to the physics, get used to the gravity, because that's what this game is really all about. You learn that, it's going to go a long way, a very long way to you passing this game, or passing levels. Maybe really a bit past this game with that sort of strats. So there's the base of the story right there. You have been abducted by aliens. I dare say they're aliens. And now you're an octopus with a helmet on. It's pretty crazy. So the controls of the game very basic: left, right, a jump. I believe right trigger to speed up. You can play this with a keyboard and a keyboard and a mouse. Sorry. Personally, I find it much easier to play with a controller. It's smooth. It's very smooth. This looks like a checkpoint. It is. And here where the fun begins. So, normal platformers, it's all 2D, you jump to a platform, you jump up, gravity pulls you back down. Gravity's pretty funky in this game. Sort of like the ways of the Super Mario Galaxy if you've ever played it yourself. You can jump on to different platforms and use their gravity. So I'm flipping it around now. There are collectibles in every level. These are dedicated towards unlocking further on levels. So you'll need to grab a few here and there. They're not mandatory to collect every single one of them, but hey, if you gotta free your friendly sea creatures, you do it. So all in all, it's very simple. Start at point A, the entrance teleporter, and finish at part B, which is obviously the exit teleporter. Pretty simple, right? Wrong. The game picks up a whole bunch of new strategies, a whole bunch of new elements. It gets pretty funky. So right now we're being told that we can run. It's quite a significant change in the speed. Oh, there's my little lobster friend, I'd say. Or little crate. We'll go with lobster. We'll go with lobster friend. That's by no means a crayfish, of course. You can also have the ability to turn down screen rotation. So if you're playing at home and your eyes are going cock-a-hoots, that's fine, because you can always change it. So I'll turn it down a little bit. Right now I'm playing on basically the standard graphics. You can turn it up if you've got a pretty decent computer and stuff. Unfortunately, I do not. You also have control of the music, of course. All the basic stuff you expect to find in an options menu. Pretty straightforward stuff, right? Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, this is a very early version of the game. The game is by no means complete. There is still a lot more to be added to it. I'm lucky enough to have a kind of like a press release sort of version of the game, so I get a bit more than the basic 6 levels. You can go to the website and download a copy with 6 levels in it, I believe. I still think it's 6 levels. There'll be a link to that down in the description, of course. All I can say, this game is... it's calming. For a very, like, intense platformer that changes all the time, it's very, very calming. So here's our first experience of different enemies. This looks like just a normal robot slash alien thingamabob that's going back and forth. I reckon it will kill you on a touch. There we go. You get unlimited lives, but you do have to start from either the checkpoint or the start screen. So, I mean, you don't really want to die. It's not very, very ideal, of course. There are some lasers, so obviously lasers break up the level. You can tell this is not the way to go because laser. It sort of guides you very well. It's now a good thing to have screen rotation off, or turned down a little bit. This part here could be really, really funky if you got it turned up high. You can experiment and make it whatever you feel like. You can go absolutely hardcore and just go crazy, crazy acid trip, flipping around pancakes sort of sensitivity, but that's totally up to you. Now, that final piece should be here. Looks like it might be some sort of timed thingamabob. Oh well, we'll move on. So, you don't need to have everything. When we look at the map here, it'll actually show me what I've unlocked based on how many creatures I've saved. So there you go, you need 8 creatures to save that. We've got 3 more levels in front of us. There's still plenty more time. There are different areas, so I think every single area has 3 levels of a certain theme, and then 3 levels of another theme, and then kind of like a boss level. Kind of like a boss level. So this here is our first experience with the underwater level. It's not too different than most other levels. Obviously, gravity plays a humongous part. It does get a bit wacky if you got your sensitivity turned up a little bit too high, so I've obviously turned mine down a fair bit. It's holding pretty well. It seems to be not going a bit too crazy. It's also recommended that you turn your quality down a little bit. Having it on low does allow my FPS not to kind of go kaputs. Usually the FPS might go a bit funky on these underwater levels. There's just a lot of texture and stuff going on. It's still a very, very early game. Stuff needs to be fleshed out hardcore. But what we've got here is really a very, very, very enjoyable game. Okay, so that's definitely not the floor. That's most possibly like a roof or a wall. Where does this little octopus need to go? He needs to go home. There we go. Okay, we've got all our friends. Beautiful. So as you progress further on into the game, obviously the number of little creatures you have to save have increased. For that level we had 3. In the original few levels we had maybe 1 or 2. So it increases the difficulty. I mean, when you kind of compare these water levels to levels much earlier on, these ones are definitely a test of patience. So as you can see, the water physics do start to get a bit crazy. It does muddle with your minds. It's a very, very puzzling game. Not only do you have to get good at platforming, you have to actually think out the process of how to get from point A to point B. I mean, this doesn't look too complex, it's just a little bit of a swimming level. But I'm sure, there we go, so right now, a huge jump wouldn't get us high enough. We've now to kind of take advantage of our sprint button while we swim. So not only are we using it on actual dry land, we're using it while in the water. Not to mention the fact that everything's still topsy-turvy, up, left, right, down, backwards, side slash. Things are getting crazy up in here. We're still managing rescuing our friends, if we can manage to hit them. Like I said earlier, the controls are very, very basic. They're not that hard to learn. I mean, by no means am I a wonderful gamer. I'm terrible at platformers. And it just feels comfortable for me. It just feels comfortable. So that should be all the main levels complete arena now. Oh no, one more, a final level. So we're 1 level away from getting to the boss. We've got a brand new enemy right in front of us, and it looks like it's just a dude going back and forth. Yeah, it just might be a little bit of a saucer action going back and forth. I'm pretty okay with how many creatures we've found so far. I'll still try and grab a few here and there, but I believe we've got enough to get to the boss slash end level now, or end area level. Let's grab ourselves a checkpoint. So you see, like something very, very simple as enemies going back and forth can become a bit more complex when you chuck a bit more into there. Let's just, oh, there we go. Okay, so There's gravity taking its course once again. You've got to watch out a little bit. When you do jump off of buildings, you get pulled along with the gravity. So rather than falling straight down here, I will kind of go with the current. I will push towards the left. You got to think. You've really got to think. So let's just calm it down over here. There we go. So, okay, those little kind of dot sections must be time sections, because we had one of them pretty early on. I guess this game kind of encourages you to go fast without, you know, obviously destroying yourself by running into an enemy. But we should be good now to pass. Beautiful. Got plenty of sea creatures saved. Okay, so this level here, I believe, is the sort of the end level, boss level per se. I'm going to assume that it gets quite difficult. Yeah, it looks like it's going to get quite difficult up here. This is run. Oh, okay. So things do get a little tricky. It is a bit of a step up. We've gone from kind of swimming around in water to jumping over very dangerous mines. Okay, throwing a few of those little movable robots in too. Beautiful. It's all about timing. You feel like you can rush through this game, but if you take your time, you're more likely to succeed. Like most games you see these days. Patience. Patience is the key. Although I am not a very patient man, as you can tell. It's not paying very good dividends for me. Okay, let's just kind of tailgate this guy here. Let's tailgate him. Now here's our forte. Some beautiful, beautiful water. There's a checkpoint. Okay, so we can go a bit crazy now. Oh, here we go. So once again, delicate hands do make things work. Sneak past there. The game is still relatively buggy, so expect a few bits here and there. I'm not too sure if I can get out of this. I reckon I may be stuck, unless I can somehow glitch through the end of the level. Oh, okay, so yeah, I'm kind of stuck inside the wall here. Let's just go back to restart level and start from scratch. It's to be expected. This game, it's far from complete. It is looking really, really good though. This is quite an old build. A lot of new things have been planned for it. I mean, I'm going to give you guys the Twitter at the end of the video. I'm pretty sure it'll be down in the description as well. Check the game out. Definitely keep tabs on it over the next few months, because it's going to be a really, really fun game. These are only the first few levels, and it's wonderful. It's a pleasure to play. Although it seems like a game that you could die numerous times in, it's one of those you definitely come back for more. And more until you rip your hair out. But you have that sense of achievement. And that's what you want from these games. That's what you want. Okay, let's just keep away from that bit in case we kind of parkour into it again. Okay, so delicate movements. Nice and easy. It appears in these levels here that there are no creatures to save. Except for this one here in the vial. Well, we'll go rescue our buddy right here. There we go. Beautiful. And there you go. So that's the first area where we've rescued a new octopus. I believe that now becomes a brand new character. As you can see, there is so much more of this game from now on. Okay, there we go. So we can change our octopus. Judging by the color of the curse, looks like with a purple one, orange one. And there's just so much more. Okay, a couple of three levels. And the final boss level, and it just keeps going. So that's it for today's Indie Focus. I hope you enjoyed Airscape Full of Gravity. You can tell it's a wonderful game. If it is your type of thing, I highly encourage you to check out the website. Check out the Steam page. Download the game for yourself. Give it a crack. See if you like it. It's not for everyone, I must admit. I highly encourage if you do download it, have a look into the settings first. Make sure you've got everything kind of turned down low if you have got a low-end computer. Even with a high computer, just to be safe. A lot of those water levels do kind of wreck your FPS. So just play it safe. And also make sure to pay attention to the sensitivity. If you do get kind of queasy playing very motiony games, turn it down to your liking. It's something just to fiddle with, like most things in games. Thank you so very much for watching today, guys. This was Airscape, The Fall of Gravity. I almost stuffed up the name there. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Indie Focus where we'll be finding a new game for you guys to check out. I hope you look forward to that, because I do. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to favorite, like, sub, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you next time. Take care, folks.